morning. As you can see, I'm in the car. That was a burp. I've had a busy morning. I've done my housework and just jumped in the shower to get ready to come out and do my groceries and things. My sister rang, so I didn't dry my hair. And then while I was on the phone to her, Evan rang and said, "Are you able to come down to the workshop because I've got something in my eye and I can't get it out?" So I had to end that call with Teresa and just run out the door without doing my hair. So anyway, I couldn't get whatever it is out. Like you could see a lump, but you couldn't see whatever it is. So we had to make an appointment for him to come into town and get his eye scraped at the optometrist. Happens to him probably maybe once or twice a year. He wears safety glasses, but what happens is sometimes stuff gets caught in either his eyebrows or his eyelashes. And it is quite often he's driving and must be a bit of wind hits and it drops whatever it is into his eye. And then, of course, when you blink, if it's sharp like metal, it embeds. It's pretty gross. Now we're talking about my eyes. Feels like it's got something in it now. And metal goes rusty in there. Ugh. The whole thing just grosses me out. So I've just been to Evans's meat supermarket because it's a little bit cheaper than the supermarket. That's how bad our food prices have got. And I'm about to go to the supermarket. I've got insulated bags in the car, so I thought I'd do that, and if I feel up to it I might go down to the just pop into the Salvation Army while I'm in town. And then, well, it's raining at the moment. It's just drizzly rain. Then I don't know what I'll do for my afternoon. Yeah. That we're just going to be free spirit and just do whatever we feel like. I do need to go through my drawers. I've got a heap of clothes in my drawers that I just don't wear. So I think it's about time I had a big huck out, clean up. I've done it in my wardrobe, but not in my drawers, so I really do need to do that. Fold everything nicely so you can find it, and yeah. So maybe, I don't know, maybe I'll put something on TV. I like to pull the drawers out into the lounge and just sit on the floor and just go through stuff, so I might do that. But anyway, we'll see how we go. No idea how much these groceries are going to cost me. But anywho, I will catch up with you after I've done those bits. Hello. It's 20 past 12. I don't know why I'm looking at the clock because I need to change the batteries on that damn thing. And I'm back. I've just unloaded the groceries. They're on the floor waiting to be put away. And yes, so I ended up after the groceries, I didn't go to the Salvation Army because town got really busy. So on my way out, I stopped at the Habitat for Humanity Restore, which is another charity run op shop. They were really, really busy. So I had a look around at all the different things, and I did come away with some books. So I got that one, and that one, and they're all from, sorry Jess. Crawl past, it's okay. No, I'll edit it out. No, you won't. Stop it. She didn't want to crawl past because she knew that I'd keep it in. She wanted something out of the fridge. So anyway, what I was saying is they're all part of the, what's it called? Sunday Philosophy Club series. And by Alexander McCall Smith. Now, I've read the majority, but I don't think I've read all of his #1 Ladies Detective Agency series, which I absolutely love. I must figure out where I was up to and carry on with those. I read them when I was working at the public library. And this is a different one that I haven't read before, so I'm really looking forward to it because I love sort of nice feel-good sort of stuff, but also there's a bit of humour in it that appeals to me. So there's actually one book, so it goes that one, then one more, and then that one. But I'm assuming, like most of his, you can kind of read them as standalones if you want to. Yeah. So I'm glad the groceries are out of the way, and they weren't as bad as I thought they'd be cost-wise. Last night when I was sitting on the couch watching TV, I did some more work on my Battenberg blanket. So I started just putting these white ones in here and joining those. I thought I'd do that as long as I can to kind of get an idea of how long I want to make it, or wide, and then maybe go with length the other way, whichever way I decide to stop. So yeah, I'm liking how it's turning out. It's very pretty. And you forget how much you enjoy crocheting until you pick up your hook and that, and then you find it's quite addictive. When my sister was on the phone, I couldn't really do much, so I had her on speaker and I was just crocheting while I was talking to her. Or should I say she was talking to me, Tracer? So yeah, so it's just a little update. I'm going to have this cup of tea, and then I am going to unload the groceries, get those put away. Sun came out while I was in that op shop, so, and it's sunnier here than it was in town. It's quite warm, so I'll probably have to take my jeans off. It'll be a bit hot. Yeah, so I'm sure you'll see some more of me soon, like right now probably. Can you tell? I fell asleep. I made some muesli. I'll show you that a bit later. And I did quite a bit of clearing up in the kitchen, but there's still quite a lot to finish tidying up. Oh dear. But I picked up that book and I read about 27 pages, and then I thought, oh, I just feel quite tired. I might just have a little lie down. So I did. Oh dear. I must have slept for about an hour and a half. I'm still just trying to wake up now. I've just had a couple of crumpets with butter on them. Very healthy, Carla Pert. And I was sitting here trying to think of what I wanted to do. It's cooled down quite a lot. And I don't know whether I need to put another layer on. Thinking about doing some sewing. Jess has gone out for tea. She's got some family birthdays to go to on her dad's side, so she's going to do that. So I think Evan and I will just have a roast veggie bulgur wheat salad and venison steak for dinner. Yeah, so I was wondering maybe I should go and Do a bit more of that sewing. I want something interesting to listen to or watch while I'm doing it, and I just can't find anything. Sorry if I'm making you yawn. Yeah. I'll take you over and show you what I've been doing. It's a bit better. You can see I laid out the blanket to see what it would look like laid out. Bag of goodies. So this is all stuff that's not been put away yet. This is the muesli I made. And I just got this, which I've got to put into another container because I accidentally split the bag. It's whole grain oats, which I thought must be a bit better for us. And I just used a bit of coconut oil and some honey and some nuts that are chopped up. I'm just going to shut that, it's a little bit cold. Oops. Yeah. So I got this basket from my mum after she passed away, and I had it in the pantry. There's a fly in there. Oh my gosh. Grr, get out. I had it in the pantry, but it was up quite high, and I used to put like any packets of pasta that were half open. I would just tie them, the bags, and pop them in that, but they would end up, you wouldn't know what you had. I mean, look, I found some barley, which I think was best before 21, but it might still be alright. Barley's barley, surely, so I'll do something with that. And some lentils, some more barley. I'll check them for weevil. Some red lentils, some soup mix, some split peas. Yeah, and they get buried, and this is the reason why. So this is all we have for food storage, is this pantry, and it's not very big, so that's quite high up. This is me trying to reach up. And it has this main sort of shelf here. It's a bit hard to show you. And then I had all the baking stuff in there, which I haven't dealt with. And then I did have the cake mixer and the food processor down there. Oop, neighbours are having a good old laugh. Tomatoes, tin stuff and herbs were all on this shelf. But the tins are actually easier to grab from up there because you can kind of see really easily. This stuff, it just used to get really messy. So I've got my vinegars up there. So I'm sort of trying to go with the whole, what do you use the most, blah, blah, blah. But so I've still got to tackle all that. And you can imagine I just ran out of steam. Yeah. So that's what's happening with the pantry. My friend has got one of those butler's pantry things, like just a whole room. I'm so jealous. When she moved into the house, I actually offered to unpack it and sort it out because I loved it so much. Now, that is the sourdough starter. And I'll just show you in the light. Can you see it's got bubbles? So very fine. It has got bubbles and it's risen. So the idea is that the yeast, the natural yeast in our ear, so this lid is not on tight. The natural yeast in the ear goes in to the flour and water mix and mixes with it, and then it starts to activate. So you can see that's one, well, this is day 2. It's had one feed since its original go, and it's already getting quite active. So yeah. Oh look, and you can see I accidentally spilt when I was opening that bag of oats into the sink. So now I've got to clean that up. So yeah, so this is what I've got to sort out. Oh dear. And I'm one of those people where I always think that I've got a really good idea, you know, this is how it should be organised, and then no. I think half the problem with these shelves is that it's really, really hard to get into the stuff at the back. But you don't want to waste that front bit, so you put things in the front. I don't know. It will look nice when it's done, but ugh. You can see why I've been procrastinating about it. Yeah, and I need to... So I used to do kombucha all the time. Oops, I've accidentally taken that off. I don't want that. I don't want any bugs getting in there. So I used to make my own kombucha quite often. And what happened? When I'd make a new batch, I'd put the old SCOBY into a SCOBY hotel. And then, I don't know, with everything happening with Mum and Evan, and you know, when we had that really rough patch in our lives, I just ended up, I threw them away, and I thought that the one that was still sitting in the tank was okay, but actually when I opened it up, it had mould on it, so I should have kept those other ones because they were fine. So I thought to myself, I wonder if I could use an unpasteurised kombucha drink that I've bought from the shop and just chuck it in some tea mix, sweet tea, and see if anything happens, because I know that when I've had kombucha that I've put in the fridge, it starts to form a SCOBY even though there's no SCOBY in it, because it is active. So I did, and it's made a nice SCOBY. So I think I'll refresh that, and then the next one will be a drinkable batch. And what I do is I second fermentation. I don't even know what I look like here. I could be just looking in the wrong direction. A second fermentation where you decant it into bottles from the big container when you go to make your next batch, and then you add some fruit and or spices or whatever to the bottles. Clip the lids so that they're tight, like they're airtight, and then over the next few days you just burp them. Once a day you open it and a little bit of psst comes out, and that's how you know that starts to give it its fizz. So you can use pineapple, apple, berries, cinnamon bark. The sky is the limit if it's got sugar in it, and natural sugar, and that will just give it that little bit of extra flavour and some more effervescence. So that's all my homemaking tips. Always keep the sourdough at one end of the kitchen away from the kombucha, because if anything is going mouldy in the kitchen, the spores may get onto the kombucha and start growing on the SCOBY. I made that mistake once. I had them side by side. So yeah, follow me for more tips. Oh, now that I've had a chat to you guys, I actually feel like doing something now. So I might just go and do some sewing. Might communicate with Evan as to what his plans are, like how late he's going to be, so I know how long I should be in the bedroom for, sewing room. Yes, I should be knitting on my second February sock, but while it's light. But yeah, I just want to get that garment finished that I started. So yeah, might go out there and do that now. Chaos.